There have been a lot of theories to how Ghost in the Shell has impacted us culturally. In your opinion, how do you think Ghost in the Shell has impacted us culturally?
Well, I think in terms of technology and what we look at, like NASA used to model a lot of their stuff off of Star Trek, a lot of it. For a long time, Gene Roddenberry was really sort of a genius in that respect. And I think with Ghost in the Shell, in terms of, that was sort of the beginning of the internet. That was, when it was just a series of tubes. But when Ghost came out, it was, it was the interwebs, it's a series of tubes. It was, sort of the birth of the internet at the time, and to see a show that was really entrenched in that world for our society, I think it sort of blew the door open as to what, because I don't think people really knew what the internet was at the time. It's just like, okay, I have a dictionary I could go to, and it's a series of tubes. But I think it really kind of blew the doors off of it in terms of people's imagination and what they could, visualize in this world and how many worlds they could create. Not everybody's comfortable in their own skin, in their own world. People have bad days, and you just want to escape into a world where you feel comfortable, where you can create this sort of utopia in your own mind. And the internet has done that for many, many people.
I think, yeah, I do. I think that really, for me, the cool thing about Ghost in the Shell is that it takes this situation that to me is not so far in the future, and they talk about the morality of the use of all this technology, basically, and I think it's really interesting, and I think that's why Ghost in the Shell is so popular. It's not just a shoot 'em up robot cop thing. There's all these levels that are going on, these intellectual things that are going on, and I think the use of this technology that we have to decide as this stuff is being developed and created faster and faster in our world, as all this stuff happens, we have to decide, is this a good thing or is it a bad thing, and should we regulate this stuff? And I think they ask these questions, and they kind of show you the scenarios that can happen with certain things that are created when they're used improperly or not, and I think there's a whole morality about this technology, which I find really fascinating about the show.
Yeah, because technology is evolving much faster than we are.
Yeah.
So how do we keep up with it?
Also, the cool thing about it too is the machines are becoming more like human beings, and the human beings are becoming more like machines.
Yeah.
And I think that's really an interesting concept. And and you look at innocence, the person that's the most human in the whole thing is the dog.
Yeah.
It's just kind of an interesting commentary, I think, on where he thinks our society is kind of headed, and you have to look around and say, wow, yeah, there's a certain truth to all this stuff,
Yeah, and in a way we're connecting.
Plug in right now.
I know. We're connecting with a much larger group of people now on the internet, but we're also disconnecting from any human contact.
Yeah.
So it's a whole new level of communication and commingling, but with no physical contact whatsoever. So it's like we're almost disassociating ourselves from the physical, which is a little bit scary.
Yeah, it is.
It's a little bit scary, because you need contact. It's the thing in the fly. What's missing? It's the flesh. You need human contact, so. And the same thing with the gaming world. It's just people I love that the Wii says, would you like to take a break? Would you like to go outside? How about turning off me for a while? I'll be here when you
Would you like to get some sunlight?
Yes. Vitamin D is good.
People always ask me too, do you play these games you work on? And it's like, I really don't have time to do. I don't know how. It's great. I love that people play them, but it's like some of these games are like 480 hours of gameplay, and they're going, who the hell's got time to? And they've got stacks of these games, and they're sitting there playing all these. It's just mind-boggling to me.
I know, and it's a shame because I want to see what we've done on them.
Exactly.
But I don't have the patience or the time to keep killing the zombies. It's just like, just show me the next